For this video, we're going to focus on ordering fractions and decimals and mixed numbers in order from least to greatest or greatest to least. It depends what the question is asking you. For this example, we're going to order them from least to greatest. So the first step is to turn all of these into the same type of number, so either a decimal or a fraction. I think it's easier to turn them all into decimals. So since 1 3/10 and 95 hundredths are already decimals, we don't have to worry about changing them. 9/10 is an easy switch. It's just like it sounds. 9 in the tenth space. Now we have 1 2/5. This is a little trickier. So I'm going to turn this mixed number first into an improper fraction. So in order to do that, I have to multiply the denominator times the whole number and then add the numerator. So I would do 5 times 1, which gives me 5. Then I would add it to the numerator. So 5 plus 2 gives me 7. So 7 is my new numerator, and I write it over the current denominator. So I have 7/5. I'm not done yet because it's still a fraction. So you can solve this using repeated addition, multiplication, or division, whichever you are more comfortable with. I'm going to use repeated addition to solve this. So 7/5, we use the unit fraction 1/5 because the denominator is 5. So I'm going to add 0.2 7 times. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm just going to add the numbers up. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Put my 4 down. Don't forget to carry that 1 over to the ones place into the next column. Bring our decimal down, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 1. So I have 1 4/10. So now that I have all of my decimals, I'm going to rewrite it so it is just decimals. So 1 3/10, 1 4/10, 95 hundredths, and 9/10. And now I can start putting them in order from least to greatest. So it's the same process. I'm going to line up my decimals and add my zeros if I need to. So 1 3/10, 1 4/10, 95 hundredths, and 9/10. Since this one goes to the hundredths and all the rest go to the tenths place, I need to add my placeholder zeros. So I'm just going to add my zeros. So now looking at my numbers, I can see I have 130 if I take out the decimals, 140, 95, and 90. So I can look at these and determine which two are the biggest and which two are the smallest. So based just on the whole number, I know that these two are going to be my biggest numbers. So now I have 130 and 140. Well, I know 140 is bigger than 130, so I'm going to put 1.4 here. And just to the left of it, I'm going to put 1.3, or 1 3/10. And now I can work with the last two. I have 95 hundredths and 9/10. 95 is bigger than 9, so I'm going to put 95 hundredths next, and then my least, or my lowest number, is 9/10. So we have them all on our number line, but we need to finish. So how we finish this problem is we have to rewrite it. If they were a fraction first, we need to change them back to fractions. If they were a decimal first, we keep them as decimals. So 9/10 was first written as 9/10. So I have 9/10, 95 hundredths, 1 3/10, and 1 4/10 was originally 1 2 Once you rewrite them, you are done with the problem.